Have you ever asked yourself, where do they find all the elves to star in those epic movies? Turns out they're just regular humans with adorable prosthetic ears. Special effects makeup makes it possible with science. Hey everyone, welcome to Makeup is Science, where we discover that everything behind makeup is actually science. Joining us today are Drew Dorsey and Sinead DeFries, two hosts from Clever Style.
Hi, we're so
Thank you
excited.
guys. And our science experts today are from Cinema Makeup School, special effects makeup artists Lydia Morales and Lauren Spencer. Hi. Thank you guys. So when you first wanted to become a special effects makeup artist, did you ever think you were going to end up on a TV show featured as a science expert?
Oh, no, absolutely not. It wasn't until I got to school where I fully realized the extent of the chemicals you use and how the processes really are all scientific.
Yeah, most of my experience with science is in elementary school and high school. So to come into an industry where we're working with different chemicals and materials was a real shock.
And those chemical mixtures are combined to make prosthetics like this.
So we're gonna make it out of foam latex. That's what these appliances are. And it actually comes from a tree called the rubber tree. Does anyone here have a latex allergy?
No. Nope.
Okay, fantastic, because if you had one, you definitely wouldn't be able to use the appliances on you. So let's go through some of the materials that we're gonna be using to put in the mix. The first is going to be a foam base, and this is the basis of the latex, kind of like what I talked about is getting tapped out of the tree earlier. This is going to smell a little bit like ammonia, so that's why we have some masks for you guys for ventilation to make sure that everything you're breathing in is clear, as well as gloves and safety goggles.
Now it's time to put on our safety gear. First, masks and goggles.
Well done, ladies. Thank you. We're ready.
First, the foaming agent is added to the latex base. Then, the curing agent. And finally, the gelling agent. The mixing process takes about 20 minutes. Then, it's ready to be poured into the mold.
So that's it. Simple as that. Now that we're all clear,
You guys are in the clear to take your masks off. Normally, a mold would be in the oven, depending on the size of its piece, anywhere from a couple hours to overnight to a day or two. But we've kind of skipped that process. Got some pieces here.
How
Do you guys
cute.
want to be turned into a fun little character?
yes.
Yeah. Sinead and I both pick foam latex ears and decide to be turned into fairies. Latex is used because it's so lightweight and pliable.
I can't really feel it all that much, honestly. I'd probably forget it was even there after a little while.
I'm trying so hard not to look in that mirror because I don't want to ruin this vibe. Yeah, count us down, Drew.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, look.
Oh my gosh, it looks too real.
Thank you guys so much for coming. It was so much fun. So glad we could be here.
Yeah, this is the best. We would stay in chat, but we do have to go take 47 billion
Pictures. Bats are one of my top 3 favorite flying animals, right up there with birds and moths. But why are they so important? Nabil is with one bat expert to find out why.
Double touch. So, PhD candidate Kristen Lear, what is it that you do?
I study bats.
Huh, you don't say.
Today I'm meeting bat conservationist Kristen Lear at her bat cave, the University of Georgia. She's gonna shed some light on these mysterious creatures of the night.
So, why do you think bats are misunderstood?
They get this bad rap in the media, in movies. We see bats in scary scenes. But I think it's really unfair. We can see these are the same exact bat. This one has its teeth bared, which is often how you see bats in the media. You see them with their teeth out, but usually they're not like that. They're usually like that because they're afraid. And this one, same exact bat, but it looks cute. Look how cute it looks.
Yeah, look at its big old ears.
Yep. So there's really nothing to be afraid of when this is how they normally are.
You guys, seriously, search the web for cute bats. They are actually beyond adorbs. We've been fed a lie. How do we rectify this situation?
So what is something that people can do to protect bats?
A really great way people can help bats is to build and put up a bat house. There's actually lots of great resources online for building your own or buying a bat house.
So you can build a bat house like a birdhouse and bats will just come and live in it?
Yeah, that's what they do. There's bats in every single state, so they can all use bat houses. Even in urban city areas, you can build and put up a bat house.
Wow. So Kristen took me outside to show me her bat houses.
So this is a bat house that you made?
Yeah, so I helped some local Girl Scouts build and put up this bat house last year.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So anyone can make a bat house in any state?
Yes, anyone can make them. There's a lot of great information online. So we actually have some here I can show you.
Ooh.
So this one right here is a model bat house. So it's cut out so you can see inside for a demo. And this one that you're holding is the finished product. So basically a bat house has this landing board where the bats will land and then they crawl up in there. And there's different rooms or chambers. So this one has 2 chambers. Up to 100 bats can fit per square foot, so about in that area.
What?
Yeah, so one of these bat houses can hold 300 to 400 bats.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Do you think there's any bats in there right now?
Well, let's check it out. Oh, they are there.
Oh, look at them. I can't believe they're there.
You know, they actually do like to come back to the same places every so often, so these are probably the same bats I saw last week.
This is so cool.
I know, I never get tired of this.
Seriously, look at them chilling in there. It's the real bat world, yo. But if you want to see if a bat is really healthy, you have to get hands-on. So as the sun sets, we set up our nets.
Should we go ahead and raise the poles?
You got it. We're good to go.
And it wasn't long before we heard that sweet squeak of success.
Yay, we caught a bat. Wow. So this is a big brown bat. They love to call, make lots of noise. So this is the wing. You can see the bone. So we're gonna measure him and weigh him and see what we can find out. And this, to me, looks like a pretty healthy bat.
He's so cute. They're not scary.
Perfect. So we're gonna measure the length of the forearm.
Okay.
So it looks like we have a healthy girl, female, big brown bat. So now we're gonna let her go down that way.
Wow, okay.
So we're ready?
3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Oh, you got it, buddy.
Is he gonna check? There. There she goes.
I feel like a hero.
Being a bat biologist really makes you feel like a hero.
Yes. That's a success.
Zombies exist. But fortunately for us, they're mostly ants. Down in the Amazon rainforest, a species of fungus is able to infect certain types of ants and hijack their muscles, effectively taking over the controls. That's scary enough. But then the fungus makes each infected ant crawl high up into a tree and hang out there until it becomes so bloated with the fungus that its head bursts and spills infectious spores down on the forest, infecting more ants and continuing the cycle of the walking dead. For now, there's no way that the fungus can infect humans, or any other mammals for that matter. Our body temperatures are high enough to kill it before it can do any damage. Ants, however, have lower body temps, so they're the perfect victims for a fungal jungle parasite.
Oh no, wait, don't be scared. It's me, Miranda Cosgrove. But if you were scared, congratulations. Your brain is working. Dr. Brain is up next with how our brains react to scary movies. Take a look. Hello, I'm Dr. Brain.
Horror movies can make us shiver, shut our eyes, scream, or just get the plain heebie-jeebies. They can make our heart race, our hair stand on end, and cause us to sweat when we're not even warm.
I've got the heebie-jeebies.
Mentally, they can create anxiety, fear, and thoughts of disgust. But where does that fear come from? You guessed it, our brains. Ta-da! Fear involves many different brain regions. One of these brain networks causes vigilance activation, which increases focus and alertness. This, in turn, activates another brain network for action, fight or flight. These reactions are built-in responses meant to protect us from real-world threats. But unfortunately, they sometimes get applied to things that aren't real. In fact, our imagination is so good that just imagining what could or might happen can trigger fear and anxiety, even if what you're imagining is totally irrational.
A vampire could come through that screen. A werewolf could come through that window. An alien could come out of this couch.
imagination is running wild. It's almost like I'm feeling the feelings that the character is feeling. What kind of tricks do filmmakers use to make our brains so scared? The dark. Humans' primary sense is vision, so we get scared when we can't see what's going on and our imaginations start to run wild. Sound. Capitalizing on that whole you don't know what's going on thing, a weird sound coming from an unknown source makes us imagine all sorts of possibilities. What is that sound? Is it a tree branch tapping my window? Or something more sinister? A dangerous situation. The character is in some sort of physical danger. Maybe they're hanging off the edge of a building just as the villain is catching up to them. Keeping the audience in the dark, literally, and only giving them bits of information at a time activates, you guessed it, vigilance. All of these film tricks add up to create what neuroscientists call the induction of heightened arousal, but we just call suspense. Suspense and the resolution of suspense are two important components of horror and our response to a horror film. Suspense is a tension created prior to the elimination of the threat. So you're sitting there in a state of hypervigilance, ready to go into fight or flight mode if anything goes down in this movie that you don't want any part of, and boom! Classic jump scare. Startle occurs when we suddenly hear an unexpected sound or see an unexpected threat in close proximity. We scream when we're scared, and we get scared when we hear a scream. Studies show that screams activate the amygdala and other fear and fight or flight machinery in the brain. Screams also serve a social function. It focuses the attention of others on the threat through a loud, audible noise, and maybe they'll come and help you. You might be wondering, this sounds awful. Why do we like being scared? Honestly, we just like feeling things. Some audience members choose to lean into the fear, while other white knucklers actively try to tamp down their emotions while watching scary movies. We feel euphoria when we survive or avoid presented danger, and that can be exhilarating to us. The relief we feel comes from endorphins in our brains, and this might be responsible for the adrenaline rush people report after watching a scary movie. To make a long story short, if you're scared during a scary movie, congratulations, your brain is working. And remember, never go into the basement first. Your brain will thank you. Bye.
Science can send robots to Mars and split atoms, but can it fight crime? Of course. Danny Washington is on the case with a real-life forensic investigator.
Forensic science, or the application of scientific methods and processes to solve crimes, may seem like a modern development, but it's been helping answer the question, what happened here, since the 16th century. Experts in the field use chemistry, physics, and biology to piece together the timeline of a crime. For forensic scientist Krishna Patel, nothing in the world is a better feeling.
I was actually inspired by a local police officer that had come to my home many years ago when I was a little girl, and our house had got broken into. I was in absolute awe with how the officer had actually pieced all the clues together from start to finish and came up with the story of the chain of events that actually took place.
Krish was all too happy to invite an amateur detective to the lab for a visit. But before I could catch up with her, crime caught up with us.
Oh no, Danny! It appears that somebody has taken a bite out of my apple.
Sounds like a case for Detective Danny.
We cover up so we don't contaminate the scene with our own fingerprints, hair, or trace DNA.
So Danny, first off, I'm actually going to take notes.
We jot down as many details as possible and take pictures of the undisturbed scene.
Any particular type of photo I should take?
Yes, I'd like for you to take the photograph of where the fridge is in relationship to the actual room.
Here we go.
Then I want you to take close-ups of the actual item that we're going to collect all the evidence from.
Finally, we look for forensic evidence.
We can collect DNA.
Where do you get the DNA from?
Well, it would actually be most likely the saliva that's left behind on the apple itself. If you can see closely, you can see the pattern of the bite itself from the apple. So that will actually go off to a crime lab where they'll actually do the analysis for that as well. We can then also look for fingerprints.
because as you can see that the lid itself has been removed from my lunchbox, so it actually means that somebody else has actually opened my lunchbox.
We bag the evidence.
My first collection of evidence, guys.
And bring it to processing, where Krish's colleague, Christina, is ready for us.
I have some DNA evidence for you to actually swab.
Meanwhile, we suit up for lab work to check the lunchbox for latent prints.
How do we do that?
Well, we're going to actually develop those prints using cyanoacrylate ester.
Pardon me?
Between you and I, that's industrial superglue.
We take the container and place it in a ventilated chamber with a hot plate, glue, and water. Then Chris shows me the chemistry behind this process.
Our superglue in there is actually going to change into a vapor. The superglue molecules will actually polymerize and hold on tightly to any fats and oils that are actually found in fingerprints.
After 20 minutes, we can see faint white spots along possible prints. Then we're ready to stain and photograph. And voila, a fingerprint. Now to analyze the evidence. Krish says there are only 3 suspects in the office: Johnny, Christina, and Krish herself. We start by looking at the markings inside our evidence print and methodically compare those to the fingerprints on file for our suspects. After 3 levels of careful analysis, the evidence fingerprint is a match for only one person.
Christina.
Christina.
It's time to catch the culprit.
Christina.
Yes, Krish?
Can you tell me what you were doing eating half of my sandwich and my apple?
Wait a second. I had apple. You had orange. I think our lunchboxes are very, very similar.
My work here is done.
Another mystery solved. But there's no time to gloat. Crime is always around the corner.
So I'm gonna eat your lunch now.
So your lunchbox had the apple in it?
And they were next to each other.
So you swabbed your own sandwich and your own apple, yes.
Off to solve the next case.
We tried to book a real worm for this next segment, but once again, the early bird got it. Probably should have seen that coming. But we do have the next best thing, alginate worms. Jackie Means, the STEM queen, is gonna teach us how they're made.
Science has created computers, taken us to the moon, and helps us peer into the microscopic world of atoms and molecules. But today, it's helping us make some little worm guys using polymers. I'm Jackie Means, the STEM queen, and today we're gonna make some colorful little worms in this bowl. For this experiment, we're going to use some distilled water, a bowl, some calcium chloride powder, sodium alginate powder, food dye, and some squeeze bottles. Sodium alginate and calcium chloride are both safe to eat, but if you use food dye, you might want to put on some gloves or put a drop cloth down. Sodium alginate can be used as a thickening agent, a gelling agent, and an emulsifier in tons of foods like cheese, instant noodles, and even ice cream. It's also used in pharmaceuticals and medicines. It's actually made from brown algae, so shout out to brown algae for helping us out today. I bet you didn't know that there's brown algae in your cheese. I think that makes cheese a seafood, maybe? Sodium alginate also forms polymers. We'll get into why that's important in just a second. So first up, we're going to make our calcium chloride solution. I'm going to take my distilled water, add it to our bowl. Now I'm going to take my calcium chloride beads and take 3/4 teaspoon and add it to my bowl. Now I'm going to take my spoon and just mix it all together. And once you don't see any more beads, it's done. I'm going to take my sodium alginate solution that I made earlier by using distilled water, sodium alginate powder, and a little bit of food dye. The sodium alginate mixture will form mold if you leave it out, so make sure you put it in the refrigerator if you're not going to use it right away. And all I have to do is mix them together and we'll have a sodium alginate worm. Check that out. Oh, it's so long. I love these little worms. They're so fun. They feel so gooey. You can make sodium alginate worms in a bunch of different colors. Literally any color you want. Worms. Green. Slimy, slimy goodness. So what is a polymer? A polymer is just a linked up chain of tiny, tiny molecules all grouped together. So the reason why we don't get this cool worm just by squeezing our sodium alginate mixture out of the bottle is because it's just sodium alginate floating around in water. But when you add it to a calcium chloride mixture, the calcium chloride causes the sodium alginate molecules to link up and form long chains. This chain forms a gel, similar to gelatin, which is what gives these worms their cool texture. The polymers in these worms are technically edible, but I just had lunch, so I'm not gonna eat them. Polymers are incredibly important. Polymers from crude oil are used in things like our plastics and our synthetic rubber, and also our clothing in things like polyester and vinyl. Natural polymers exist as well in things like silk and wool, and even your DNA is a polymer. Are polymers? This is a science show, not a grammar show. Do you think that brown algae ever thought it would be on TV? Just goes to show, you can do anything as long as you try. I'm Jackie Means, the STEM queen, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
We can all agree that certain sounds, like screams and horror movie music, are scary. But why do they make us afraid? One idea is that we evolved to associate some types of sounds with danger. When our primate relatives see predators, they make high-pitched and distorted alarm calls to warn their friends and family. Human screams, which are also high-pitched and distorted, may trigger the same danger feelings that those calls do. Another aspect of sound that seems to trigger fear is dissonance. While a musical chord is made up of notes that harmonize nicely and causes people to feel calmer, intervals which contain notes that clash uncomfortably can cause listener anxiety and, well, fear. Finally, a sound can be scary simply because it's out of place. The light creaking of footsteps isn't scary at all, unless you think you're alone. Put all those sounds together, and you have a recipe for some serious fright.
If you're watching this, you must have really liked the video. Make sure you follow and subscribe, and check out these other videos that are even better. No, really. I've seen this one over 100 times.